Hey, my Chiropassion champions. Happy New Year, first off, right? Hopefully you guys had a great holiday season. I wanted to spend a couple of minutes with you guys today and talk about goals, setting goals. You know, you hear that a lot. You hear people talking about how important it is. You hear people talking about how critical goals are. And I think a lot of times what happens for some people is we go on overload, right? You're thinking like, oh my God, goals and setting goals. And what is it that I want? What is it I want to do? And then sometimes we list so many goals, they lose their impact, right? We start to lose the impact on the benefit of a goal because we list so many goals, right? So a couple of areas that we certainly train on in Chiropassion Consulting, and I want to share a little bit with you guys, is this. Number one, have a couple of categories in your life to set some goals so that you are going to create some balance in your life. So I want to have a professional goal or maybe a series of them, right? I want to have some personal goals, maybe one or two. Again, you don't have to overload yourself. And I want to set up some maybe some spiritual goals, some goals so I feel more connected and more balanced with God or the universe or connected to my sense, my soul, my sense of being. Okay, so that's number one. So set up a couple of categories that sing to you, that motivate you, that are areas that you want to improve on. Number two, understand the importance of a goal. Why do we have a goal? A goal sets a direction. So the benefit of setting a goal is this, and again, I want to cut through the crap, if you will, just for the reason of why it's so critical to set a goal. If I'm driving to an area that I've never been before, there's a goal, right? I've never seen this level in office. I've never made this level of income. I've never weighed this much. I've never had this physical level of conditioning. I've never had this connection with spirit, whatever it is, right? So I'm going to a place I've never been before. That means that the terrain along the way is going to be unfamiliar to me, right? So I also want to make sure, knowing that the terrain is unfamiliar with me, I also want to make sure that my steps are efficient. I don't want to make left turns and right turns that are unnecessary because that's going to affect my fuel, the energy, my emotion, right? All of those things are going to be affected or diluted as I go along because we get tired, right? You're going to get fatigued at some point. So I would use a GPS and I would plug in the destination in my GPS. Why? So one, I'm going to a place I've never been before. I can go there with the fastest directions. I can eliminate any unnecessary turns to the left or the right. And I'm not going to get tired. And it makes my steps more efficient. And I'm using that in the analogy of our day-to-day. So it's easier to make better choices. It's so much easier to make better choices if that choice gets filtered through my goal. So, hey, Dr. Joe, do you want to do this? I don't know. Let me look at my goal. Does that fit my goal for practice? Does that fit my goal towards financial security and income for my family? Does that set my goal for my personal goals? Does that fit through my filter? No. And if it doesn't, see, it's a lot easier to say, you know what? That's not congruent with my goal. It doesn't devalue what that person wants to do or what offer opportunity is presenting itself. It just means, look, that doesn't fit in my calendar, if you will, right? I don't want to involve that in my life because this is where I'm headed, and that's going to be a left or a right turn that I want to do. So one, we've got our goals set. We understand why we want to set our goals. Last and most importantly, we want to break our goals down so that each goal, so that we are really creating goals that pull me and don't push me. What's the difference? A push means I got to do it out of stress or anxiety. That's what it means. Holy shit, I got to get this done. I got to make sure I do this or this and this is going to happen. That's the distinction between being pushed or being pulled. Pulled means, look at, that's where I'm going to go. That's something that inspires me. That's something that leads me. So a pull is a lot more powerful and less exhausting than a push. Okay, so think about that when you're thinking about setting those goals. So one, I want to set a goal. Number two, I want to set why do I want to achieve that goals. And the more whys you can put behind that, the better it's going to be. Why do I want to achieve something specific? Why? What's the reason for it? And there's no right or wrong, but the more compelling your why is, the more it's going to lead you. It's going to pull you rather than push you, okay? Number two, you got to write down under that some action steps you're going to take. Okay, I know the goal, and I know why I want to achieve the goal. What am I going to do? What are the steps that I'm going to make? What are the actions I'm going to take in order to get that goal to be achieved? And then last is the consequence. What are the consequences that will occur or potentially occur if I don't reach that goal? And that's really what you're trying to create. You're trying to create emotional leveraging, because in the end, guys, most of it is emotion, isn't it? Much of it is, hey, I want to attain that goal. That's great. That's exciting. That's awesome, right? I want to be led to it. And we're going to draw many times from our emotion. That's where our fuel, our energy is going to come from in order to achieve a goal. One of the great lines I learned from Jim Rohn, who coached Tony Robbins, right? And Jim Rohn said that, listen, when you reach a goal, the true benefit of a goal isn't attaining the goal. It's what you've become in the process of attaining that goal. In other words, you become somebody that there's no turning back. So, as a chiropractor, for example, if you're looking to serve have a certain impact, serve a certain number of people, once you do that, you basically have owned and mastered what's necessary in order to sustain that level of success. Really, regardless of what it is, your personal health, your family health, your spiritual health, your financial health, your practice health, whatever it is. So the reality is, once you get that goal, you own it. No one can take that from you. And that's really what I think you gain. And I agree with Jim, reaching so many goals in my life. I agree with Jim Rohn on that. Truly is the benefit. It's so awesome, the person you become in that journey of trying to reach the goals. I mean, you guys can see my wall of inspiration of people who I aspire to be or to be led by, or people who motivate me on a regular basis. It's a wall that I look at on a regular basis. And you should have that in your house as well, or somewhere, a wall of people that inspire you. So hopefully this helps out. This is stuff that we go over on a regular basis in Chiropassion Consulting. So I mean, it's not just goals and reading over your goals and writing your goals. It's those action steps. It's the emotional and personal development to make yourself the best person that you can be. It's about protocols and procedures that you need to implement in your practice. It's about training your staff and training your CAs and being compliant if you're in certain insurance programs and such. It's about that personal development on your own level, and also personal development of your team and your staff. And what are you doing to train your staff? And what are you doing with scripts? And what are you doing with protocols and the daily in and out procedures? That's what we teach at Chiropassion Consulting. So I think we've got a phenomenal program. There's a lot of great programs out there. I think our program certainly is one of the best if we resonate with you. So if you're looking to run an office that doesn't have a lot of overhead, if you're looking to have chiropractic and adjusting as the main staple in your practice, D.D. Palmer talked about having it as center stage in your practice. If you're looking to have a lot more fun, if you're looking to see families, if you're looking for care plans, lifetime plans, wellness plans, so that you can establish relationships with your practice members, with your patients, and you can teach them the chiropractic lifestyle so that they can utilize chiropractic as a lifestyle for life, and their children can use chiropractic as a lifestyle for life. If that's the type of practice you're looking to grow, and you want to grow there faster, compress the time, there's nothing that's more impactful for you than to work with a coach and a mentor. My initial coach and mentor is that guy right there. If I can point at it right there, right? I got a little multitask going on here, but that's Dr. Reggie Gold. Dr. Reggie Gold certainly put me on a path, a journey in my life. And I knew as the decades passed, after I had achieved so many goals, and so much success within chiropractic, within practice, that I wanted to do what Reggie did for me. And I wanted to give back as a coach, as a mentor, as a teacher, as a leader, not only in the profession, but certainly as a one-on-one coach with docs, because that's what Reggie did with me. You know, I was on with with Jim Sigafus, on phone calls, and I worked with Fred Barge, and went to DE with Sid, but Reggie had the biggest impact on me. So I've got a bunch of links posted here. So we've got how do you get more Borio in your life? How do you get involved with Chiropassion Consulting? So we've got a Success Club, which has grown tremendously here in the last couple of months of 2018. So that's a program, that's an online program. We do Facebook Lives, we do regular videos, we have scripts and protocols and procedures, and you get to mastermind with a group of 100 other chiropractors across the world. And that's a phenomenal program. And that's $199 a month. There's no agreement, there's no contract with it. Obviously, if you see value, you stay as long as you want, and it puts pressure on me to make sure, I'm giving you regular value on a frequent and weekly, if you will, monthly basis, right? We also have a one-on-one coaching program. That's Mastery Client Program within Chiropractic Consulting. We've got a couple of programs within that program. So if you're looking for more one-on-one coaching and you're looking for more intense program coaching, that's our master program. Love to have you involved with that as well. And there's a link right below that where you can do a free one-on-one consulting call with me. So hey, we get in there. We don't have to get into numbers or anything like that, but let's talk about where you're at. I'd love to hear your story about why you're a chiropractor and how you ended up where you are. And I want to hear your story where you want to be. When you got out of school, what was your dream? What did you want to do? What was your impact? And then let's talk about reverse engineering that and finding out the best way and the best tools, the best instruments, the best things that we can offer in chiropassion to get you there. Hey, it's a new year. It's 2019. Who would have thunk, right? It's a new year to have a greater impact in the world. And there's nothing that's a greater honor. I know for me as a coach, as a mentor in chiropassion, there's nothing more important for me and no greater honor than to be part of your journey, just like I had so many people that I'm honored that were part of mine. So certainly love and appreciate you for loving what I love. Click one of those links. Let's talk. You can reach out to me on Facebook. You can do a contact out on our Chiropassion Consulting website. Click one of the links to get a free coach call, whatever you want, and we can get hold of you here in a matter of a couple of days or next week, and let's kick ass in 2019 and make this year the year you dreamed about. That's what we're about. That's what we're here for, and certainly that's what gets me most excited when I get to work with other docs. So have a great week, guys. Talk to you soon.